Good morning, everyone. Imagine yourself entering into the examination hall. You feel like deja vu. Sounds too good to be true? Yes, dear friends, this happened with many of our students that they are giving UPSC mains examination. I have got many calls regarding कि sir बहुत सारे questions से we were familiar. We were familiar with most of these questions. And yes, because this is not confidence but testament of our hard-working team and the specially designed content that is being created under the guidance of Shubhra Ranjan ma'am. There were numerous questions which were directly hitting from our test series and QEP, our special program, quality enrichment program that we have conducted in the classroom. Now, what kind of these questions were there? Suppose there were various questions that were directly hitting from our test series. Now, this was a program that is quality enrichment program, and in which test series was also included. And this was our flagship program, our special program, in which through which a lot of questions have been directly or indirectly reflected. And because all these test series which are designed, the test series questions which are designed are based upon data driven approach. We are crafting all these PYQs. We were seeing continuously all these PYQs again and again, and then crafting our questions on those basis. And we have crafted most important themes, and that was reflected in the real time scenarios as well. For example, emerging current affair, whatever current affair that could have been important, we have all included, and the static portions, and then with a lot of review and lot of feedback we improved upon, and today we are standing on in such a platform that is most of these questions have been directly coming from our test series, direct hit from our test series. That is something very appreciable that I personally feel. Now, if you will see, this was a GS paper 2. I will be confining through this GS paper 2. Paper 2 पे ही confine करके रखते हैं, and let us see. And in the future also, I will be coming with more such to show you to those persons who are writing our test. And this is a confidence building measures for most of you, and to show trust, whatever trust you are showing, as we have already discussed, and this particular quote from Mahabharata, that is Nayam lokasti na paro na sukam sanshayatmana. For a doubting soul, there is no happiness neither in this world nor in the other. And through that philosophy, we have established a lot of trust among our students, and this is a testament for all of those things that we have put in a lot of hard work. Now, if you will be seeing question number 1, which was saying about one nation, one election. One nation, one election. And this particular theme we have also covered in the simultaneous election. We'll be showing you, for example, questions like Lok Adalat and arbitration tribunal. All these questions, when we were discussing about this cabinet system and parliamentary supremacy, all these are most important themes. The CAG, local bodies questions, and all these questions. For example, doctrine of democratic governance. This particular question also reflected, and this is a most expected question from the PYQs that we have discussed. For example, the questions on the China's strategy, that is China's political and economic dominance, how to counter those, how to counter the China's political and economic dominance. With respect to right to privacy, Article 21, that was also reflected. Center-state relations, that was also reflected, and many more. Let us see, directly come to the questions. For example, this particular question, the question on Syrian Charter. Questions on Syrian Charter. Now, question says, Syrian Charter has been landmark initiative in ensuring Syrian-centric administration, but it is yet to reach its full potential, identify the factors hindering the realization of its promise, and suggest measures to overcome them. Now, when I took these classes, and I have taken only 3 classes on the governance section, and in these 3 classes of 2.5 hours each, I have covered each and every aspect of governance, and that is similarly reflected in our questions. For example, this particular questions we have given in the test number 4. टेस्ट नंबर 4 वी हैव गिवन दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. ये कहां पर आया था? टेस्ट नंबर 4 क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 था हमारे टेस्ट सीरीज में से. टेस्ट नंबर 4 क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 वी हैव ऑलरेडी फॉर्मुलेटेड दोस क्वेश्चंस. मैंने इन आवर क्लासेस आल्सो सी व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड मैंने यहां क्वेश्चन नंबर तक लिखा था. आई हैव रिटन दीज क्वेश्चन नंबर्स, ई गवर्नेंस एंड क्वेश्चन ऑन सिटीजन चार्टर, e-governance and question on city and charter. I have also in future I have mentioned about role of civil services in a democracy से भी एक क्वेश्चन होगा. See these are direct hit, इतना स्पेसिफिक कोई नहीं बताता है. And since we are seeing these PYQs again and again, analyzing these trends again and again, so we were able to better accurately predict about these questions. I have discussed these questions on city and charter, what kind of diagrams you will be making, and suppose this particular concept of representative democracy and colonial bureaucracy, we have discussed all these things. This particular diagram I have discussed that you have to make these diagrams. The introduction template we have discussed. We have also discussed this diagram given in the second ARC. The introduction templates we have shown you a lot of these citizen charters in practice also, how these citizen charter looks, and in that class it is clearly given that we have included each and every aspect that is mentioned in the class, in the question paper. For example, Peter Drucker quote we have given you, and we have also told about best cases like Sivottam model या फिर Malaysia का citizen charter initiative was there. All those things we have already discussed. For example, when I was discussing about issues also, then also we were discussing about various practical cases. For example, these citizen charters are not updated or they are not showing any commitment toward implementing all these good governance initiatives, right? Now, for example, this particular thing like issues, with respect to issues also, we have mentioned all these issues, and we have also seen this particular diagram, that, and I have told you that whatever question that is coming, this was like a cheat sheet, because I was knowing that this particular question will be coming in the examination hall. That is why I have told in the classes also, those who have attended the class, they can surely do such kind of questions. And please do mention if you have taken any governance section from me, you will be knowing that all these things we have discussed. For example, if you are from the Jammu center or from the Bhubaneswar center or Kolkata center or any other centers, you must have seen all these things, because we have discussed very elaborately, practiced questions on the basis of that. And see, all these questions are reflecting in the UPSC examinations as well. Now, what you have to do, we have already seen that you have to put in a lot of hard work and trust the process. This is only process and which you have to trust upon. If you will be doing again and again, working hard on whatever targets that have been given in the classes, you will be able to make through. This is where we lack. We see a lot of resources, whatever materials, we tend to forget that we have golden thing in our hand, that is our class notes. These class notes are awesome, and they are specially designed, created, and these are already effort of lot of dedication and hard work by faculties. So focus on that, revise, and then after that you can solve the PYQs also. Practice these PYQs again and again. See, we have discussed the conclusion portion also. We have seen the conclusion, how to conclude. For example, second ARC on citizen charter, that it is regarded as a technical jargon. Promises made in it remained pious declaration with no mechanism to enforce them. Yes. So all these things, for example, we have already created introduction, body, what you will be writing in the introduction. Remember that citizen charter's definition given by second ARC. Yes, the diagrams, the issues, the way forward, and how to conclude. Each and everything has been dictated in the class. Even those handouts are also present. Just see them. You'll be finding that most of these things were there. Just for example, let us see. Here also I have given this diagram and shown you that you have to make these diagrams. Yes, I was showing you earlier. Now this is, see, we have already done in the class number 2. I have just taken 3 classes, and from those that was direct reflection. It is said that whether it's a friendship or a relationship, all bonds are built on trust. Without it, you have nothing. And that is what we have to cherish. The trust you have shown on us, it is also reflecting in the UPSC examination. Just keep on doing your hard work, your bit. We are doing our bit. You have to do your bit, and just together we'll be conquering this particular examination as well. Yes, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that aprapyam nam nehasti dhirasya vasaina. Those who are fearless and those who are hardworking. Fearless, why? Because if you are having trust, then you will be becoming fearless. If you are having trust in the process, you will be becoming fearless, and you will be doing a lot of hard work. Those who are fearless and those who are hardworking, for them nothing is impossible. Everything is achievable, and that is where we have to understand this, that trust is the most important thing. And this is what we have discussed, that when we were discussing about the features of good governance, there we have discussed that CRIP-tier, the framework given is CRIP-tier, that is consensus oriented, participation. All these features become effective in the ground if people have trust. If people have trust on the government, and that is very, very important aspect whenever we are discussing good governance, right? So that is most important thing. That is most important thing. Let us see other aspects as well. For example, e-governance question on e-governance. I have already, when I was starting the class, I have already written these questions. कि sir question आएगा question, and that is reflected. अब इससे ज्यादा क्या ही बता सकते हैं? Are you getting or not? This particular question, see, that particular video is also available in the initial lecture number 1. When I was starting, even above also I have shown you, in lecture number 1 I have shown you that that particular question was there. For example, here we have discussed from when I was starting the lecture, there also I have written, I have already shown you earlier that all these questions were from the, for example, this here written, there will be one question on e-governance already written when I was starting, just in the within the 3 minutes. Within the 3 minutes, I have shown you that all these questions will be there, and from these areas you can expect, because of the trend that is given in the governance section. And now these questions are being reflected in the examination hall, right? For example, here I have discussed also with respect to e-governance. E-governance was the question, and we have discussed multiple questions. All the PYQs have been discussed on the topic of e-governance. For example, question was on what are the challenges. E-governance is not just about routine application of digital technology in service delivery account process. It is as much about multifarious interactions for ensuring transparency and accountability. In this context, role of interactive service model of e-governance. Yes, we have discussed various kind of models. Yes, government to business, government to government, government to employees, all these, government to government. We have all these. We have discussed government to citizens also. All these models we have discussed, right? That model, smart governance. Yes, we have discussed all those things. And that particular thing was already lecture number 2. 1 इस टाइम स्पैम पे आप देखेंगे कि we have already discussed all the aspects related to the e-governance and solved all the PYQs given. And from there, one question was expected also. For example, we have also asked, we were knowing that this particular question on this particular theme will be there in the UPSC examination hall, and we have asked multiple questions on that, so that you are ready with tarkash, all kind of weapons to solve these questions. Yes, and now it is evident also. For example, question on m-governance we have asked, questions on m-governance we have asked, and now here see all these things. For example, what is e-governance and what inadequacies hamper its effectiveness, suggest reform for the same. All those things we have already discussed with respect to how to introduce the question, what we will be writing in the body part, and what kind of diagrams you will be making. We have already discussed in the classes. See guys, these QEP program, the QEP, the special program that we were conducting, it had a lot of instances. We have seen a lot of instances that because this particular program had been designed in such a way that we craft out all the most important PYQ themes and which are very, very expected themes. And we cover all those aspects, and every year that is a direct hit. Every year that is a direct hit. For example, question on this: analyze the role of local bodies in providing good governance at the local level and bring out pros and cons of merging rural local bodies and urban local bodies. And remember that line that I have given you when I was teaching you good governance. I was talking about CRIP here. Yes, consensus oriented, rule of law, inclusiveness, participatory, transparency, economy and efficiency, accountability and responsiveness. We have already discussed these aspects. Now, I have told you whatever question is coming on the good governance, you can always relate with the frameworks. For example, we have discussed the frameworks, diagrams, flow chart that we have discussed. For example, we have also discussed about principle of subsidiarity. We have discussed about function, functionary and functionality issues. We have also discussed that how these two concepts can be interrelated in the classes itself. For example, we have also given you diagrams. Whenever question is coming, you have to contextualize these diagrams. I have already told in the examination, in the classes. For example, lecture number 1, 56 minute mein, I have told you these two diagrams, DNA approach and this state, market and civil society, the Venn diagram. I have already told that you can always contextualize these questions, these diagrams, whatever question is coming on the good governance, any question on practical aspect. Yes, we have empowered you, we have provided you all kind of skill, and that was a testament. This particular examination was testament that you are able to do so. For example, there was a question on this particular: examine the need for electoral reforms as suggested by various committees with a particular reference to one nation, one election principles. This particular question has been discussed by our polity faculty, and even Shubhra ma'am has discussed most of these questions on the elections. Various kind of videos were being made on the topic of election. And from the test number 5, question number 5, we have already discussed the simultaneous elections. The issue, for example, desirability of holding simultaneous election for the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha has been discussed at the various levels. This critically examine the viability and desirability of holding the simultaneous elections. Now, this particular question was discussed. Now, all these aspects were discussed. We have told you the approach in the answers also. What is the special part? How we have transformed. For example, whenever we are giving you answers, we are first telling you approach, then how to introduce in body part what can be suitable dimensions, and how to conclude. We are ensuring that whatever is required in the UPSC mains, you are having in the answer format. Yes, and that is where it is always advised that do give all these tests and treat these tests as your UPSC examination. If you are doing so, you'll be able, this particular paper will be a cakewalk for most of you. For example, this particular question: the duty of controller and auditor general is not merely to ensure legality of expenditure, but also its propriety. And this particular question we have also discussed in test number 13, in the full length test. Yes, because we were knowing that these are very, very important themes, and they will be asked. Maybe because some of the nuances of the separation of power was there, but there was not direct question, but that was also expected. Yes, but we have to prepare all these themes from the topics given, PYQ given. For example, this particular question: doctrine of democratic governance makes it necessary that public perception of integrity and commitment of civil servant become absolutely positive. And when I was giving this script here concept, this particular thing was there. I have already included the question. We have already included these questions on the issues and reform. Plus, in classes, I have always shown you all those officers, and in the classes various people were saying कि सर ये यहाँ पर क्यों करवा रहे हैं, because I was knowing that someday UPSC will be asking question. Remember, I was telling that 4 years, for the 4 continuous years, they were asking question on constitutional morality in GS paper 4. But then they flipped and on the next very year, they flipped the trend, and the next very year, what they did, they skipped that question in the GS paper 4, but asked in GS paper 2. Similar trend was noticed here as well, and I was knowing. That is why I was showing all those officers. We have seen the various kind of case studies. For example, we have seen the case study of Armstrong Payne, for example, Divya Devarajan. All these case studies we have discussed in the classes. In the governance section, when I was discussing about role of civil services in a democracy, remember SR Shankaran ji की case study हम लोगों ने discuss करी थी? All those, and the question was very similar. Doctrine of democratic governance makes it necessary the public perception of integrity and commitment of civil servant become absolutely positive. Discuss the positive attitude that is leading toward the probity in the governance. Yes, now for example, we have seen the case study that is Armstrong Payne. We have seen the case study of SR Shankaran ji. We have seen the case study of various other IAS officers as well, Ashok Khemka ji, and we have shown that these public officers have to show integrity and commitment and probity when it comes to public administration. Yes, for example, when we talk about Article 21, this was most expected theme, and we have asked question on Article 21 as well, and this was also test from our polity test. For example, this question on poverty and malnutrition, this similar question we have asked in our test number 6. It shows that all these questions, for example, questions from GS paper 2, similarly from the GS paper 1 also, paper 3, you'll be seeing today it is happening, GS paper 3, and I will be coming with more such papers. And it is a testament of our hard work and commitment that we have towards you guys. Just have trust in the process and give all these tests with full confidence and full trust that you are giving this particular examination as your test in the UPSC examination. Are you getting or not? Yes, that is very important. And for example, questions on poverty and malnutrition, that is test number 6. That is malnutrition and hunger. We have already asked and given the various kind of data also. For example, how many of you have heard me saying that globalization के बिना पेपर बनता ही नहीं है, GS paper 1 का. Now see, they have not changed the question number as well. Question number 19. Why I was able to do that? Why I was able to do that? Because we have seen this trend in the UPSC. You yourself can see. If you start finding out, and for example, this question was we have already asked in the test series, and I have told you the way to do that. You can also do the same thing. If you will be writing all these question numbers, question number 1 to 20, and take a sheet of paper and mark all the most important themes. You will be finding that questions were there. For example, see, now we have discussed urban local bodies. The question was there, decentralization of power, local governance and good governance. They have this trend of asking these questions, right? For example, NALSA was question that was given, right? For example, if you will be seeing that most e-governance question number 8. They have consistently put this question on e-governance on question number 8. Hunger and malnutrition, they have already asked in the PYQs. And remember those lines that out of 20 questions, approximately 11 to 12 questions will be there from the PYQ themes. And those who have done these PYQ themes, for example, in GS paper 2, approximately 75 themes were there, in which you had to prepare your answers in the introduction, body and conclusion format. And if you have done that, most of these papers will be a cakewalk for you. And that is one of the most important exercise, and we are focused in the classes as well, that you have to do all those things. So that is where we have discussed, that most of these things we have discussed in the classes. Just do all these things for those who have just started your preparation. For those who have just started your preparation, this is the way you have to do. Open your eyes and see where these questions are, from where these questions are coming, and you'll be finding that most of these questions are directly reflected from our test series and QEP program. Now for this, for helping you for your UPSC journey, we are also coming up with for the mentorship program. We are coming up with the mentorship program in which you will be having a hand holding. For example, if you will start preparing from now onwards, you will be given daily targets. You will be directed by the faculties or mentors. For example, special faculties and mentors will be there. They will be guiding you with respect to each and every concept. They will be telling you what are the daily targets, and at the end, the mentors will be analyzing those targets. For example, here we have library facility also. If you are residing in the nearby old Ranjan Nagar, you can come to our new premises, that is 12B, and you can have that world-class facilities are being provided. And for you, that is something very, very important, that current affair, prelims test series, PYQ practice, daily target-based study plan will be there, weekly roadmap will be there, answer writing practice will be there, and that too in the proper environment, wherein one mentor will be delegated to you, and they will be analyzing what kind of targets you are, were you able to achieve those targets or not. They will be tracking of those targets, and you will be seeing that one of the most important thing in this UPSC journey, that there should be someone. We have also felt the same. There should be someone who is always with you in your ups and downs. आपके साथ में रहे, वो आपकी completely hand holding करे, वो बहुत ही ज्यादा जरूरी होता है. Because in the entire UPSC journey, we feel that we are lacking on that kind of assistance. And those who are learning, those who are hearing, and they have already given 1 or 2 attempts, for them it is a golden opportunity. This is a golden opportunity to join this mentorship program, and the workshop date is starting from, the workshop date is 22nd of September, that is today. Do attend this lecture, this workshop at 6 p.m. and just have this knack of how things are being done. It will be helping you a lot. For example, this program is resourceful content, individual mentorship, strategic guidance, and exam focused preparation. That is RISE approach. It has this entire preparation. It is done in the 3 phases. Entire preparation is being focused and divided in the 3 phases, and 2,500 plus prelims practice questions will be there, mains practice questions will be there. There will be manthan sessions, discussions on the topic of current affair. There will be master sessions given by Shubhra Ranjan ma'am herself. There will be current affair day in which current affair classes will be taken. There will be editorial day, revision day. All those things will be there. Yes, through that we are ensuring that you are able to prepare the most important mains portion plus prelims portion, and you are able to clear your prelims. Then the second phase of this preparation will start after the prelims also, wherein we will be focusing entirely upon mains. There will be 160 plus hours of intensive training, comprehensive coverage through GS crash course, classroom doubt solving, special focus upon current affair, analysis of mains PYQ trend, GS mains test series. Everything is included in this, right? Just come here and explore about the mentorship program. You will be finding really helpful because this is something very, very unique and nobody does that. And this is where we lack usually in the UPSC journey. Just come here and you'll be getting full help from our institute, that is Shubhra Ranjan IAS. And remember, my friend, for the entire process, you should have this mantra, because we are completely distracted when we are preparing for this UPSC examination. we have plethora of content available outside. अब ये फोकस है इस प्लेथोरा ऑफ कंटेंट में, आपको ये देखना कि विच कंटेंट इज मोस्ट यूजफुल फॉर यू, एंड यू शुड बी फोकस्ड एनफ to continue the process in a consistent manner, putting a lot of effort and targeting. You are achieving your target. Even if you are getting any kind of failure, there is somebody to provide you certain kind of hand holding, and that is where we are focusing upon, that is hand holding aspect. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that bandhuratmatmanah tasya yenatmavatmanah jita anatmanastu shatrutve vartate tatmav shatruvan. That means that you have to make your mind really focused toward your goal if you want to achieve this particular goal. Yes, and this is where we want to help you in this entire journey to keep you focused throughout your UPSC journey so that you achieve your targets, and that is where our role also comes into play. Now, do attend this workshop today, and we will be coming up with more such videos like for GS paper 4 also, because I have taken GS paper 4 ethics also here. So we'll be discussing about those papers as well, how much questions have directly or indirectly, or you were familiar with those questions. We'll be coming with those videos as well. Thank you everyone, and stay tuned for further updates. Thank you so much.